an Alberta police force.
We can start now. We're not waiting.
While the province says it's necessary. Another major construction project in Calgary.
So as much as this feels like a commercial or business issue, this is really a Calgarian issue.
Downtown business owners say it could be devastating. And big plans. 2 hotels, both more than 60 stories, to go up near Stampede Park.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. The province is moving forward with its own police force. It will be called the Alberta Sheriff's Police Service, and its head office will be in Calgary. Tyson Fedor joins us with more details. And Tyson, the Premier insists this new police agency will complement current police services, not replace them.
And Ian, Premier Smith says the new agency will work alongside existing law enforcement to fill gaps in service, and it will be run separately from the government with civilian oversight. Now, today the province says there are currently around 2,000 sheriffs, with 650 of them fully trained for this new service. Sat Parhar, who spent 25 years with Calgary Police, will be the new chief. He is tasked with recruiting an executive team and reaching out to municipalities and police agencies already in place to create connections. The province says the new police force will be more capable to meet the needs of rural communities. The province is wanting to fill any gaps that there may be in policing if the RCMP pulls away from contract policing in 2032.
We can start now. We're not waiting. We want to make sure that everybody feels that they've got the policing that they need close to home. If the federal government makes a decision to move away from contract policing, we don't want there to be a gap. And so we're ensuring that there isn't going to be a gap.
Now, an independent report released by the province in 2021 said that a provincial police force could cost upwards of $758 million to put it all together. A transition cost would look around $366 million over 6 years. Now, the province does say about $20 million has been allocated in budget 2025 and over the next 2 budget cycles after this year for the start of this implementation. Ian?
Tyson, thanks very much. Emergency officials revealed new measures they're taking this year to ensure a safe Stampede. Calgary police say they will be using drones for aerial monitoring. The devices are a carryover from the recent G7 World Leaders Summit in Kananaskis. An estimated 1.3 million guests are expected down on the grounds this year throughout the 10-day event. Officials remind attendees to bring a charged cell phone, not just for calling for help, but to get any emergency alerts regarding changing weather or heat.
We have done extensive planning to make sure that it is as safe as possible for everyone to enjoy, and we are well prepared. That said, we do have plans and contingencies in place to make sure we can respond to any changing conditions as they occur.
The Stampede grounds will temporarily turn into a police district with a headquarters, incident commander, dispatcher, and police officers patrolling the grounds. Business owners on Stephen Avenue are worried upcoming construction could put them out of business. Mark Villani joins us from the area where a major redevelopment will begin later this month. And Mark, walk us through some of the concerns.
Well, Ian, several of these business owners say that they've been left in the dark by the city. There's a lack of transparency, and that this project threatens their ability to survive, that downtown could turn into a ghost town if construction were to take place over this scale. It's why they're demanding the city come up with a better plan, put a pause on this construction right now, and make sure that things can go a little bit more smoothly. That construction, by the way, expected to take place on July 14th. That's just one day after the Calgary Stampede wraps up. Now, here's a look at just how massive this project is. It includes surface upgrades to 12 blocks of Stephen Avenue, stretching from the Mawada Armory all the way to City Hall over the course of 15 months. The first phase will start in just a couple of weeks, and that will tear up 1 block of the avenue to replace 90 to 100-year-old underground utilities from 1st Street to Center Street Southeast. Now, business owners, they worry that this impact could last years. It could even last last decades. Among the concerns, the alleged importation of granite from Vietnam, the removal of hundreds of mature trees, a lack of parking, and no firm funding beyond phase 1 of this project. Now, business owners also worry a similar situation involving the closure of dozens of shops in Martel Loop could repeat itself here on Stephen Avenue, and that hits to their bottom line could really impact the entire city as a whole.
That's when crime moves in, and the biggest issue that's going to happen is there's going to be no business tax base available because all these spaces will be vacant and it will be shifted onto residential. So as much as this feels like a commercial or business issue, this is really a Calgarian issue because of the way this is being done. We have offered solutions.
Now, some of those solutions include starting the work all the way at the other end of Stephen Avenue at the Mawada Armory and working their way up to here closer to City Hall, taking more of a staged approach. Now, meanwhile, Councillors Sonia Sharp and Terry Wong say they're advocating for a pause to this project and looking for some more answers from the city. We reached out to the city for their input on this. We have yet to hear back. Ian.
Mark, thank you. Two former members of the UCP caucus plan to revive the Progressive Conservative Party of Alberta. Peter Guthrie and Scott Sinclair now sit as independents in the legislature. The pair hope to gather 8,800 signatures to register as a political party with Elections Alberta. The Progressive Conservatives rose to power in 1971 and stayed in office until the NDP won the 2015 election. Sinclair says the UCP has morphed from what was supposed to be a mainstream big tent party into a separatist party. The Premier and Agriculture Minister are taking part in a town hall in Okotoks tonight. Dozens have lined up at the Viking Rental Centre to get into the event, which began at 5. The province has billed this event as a way to hear from community members. There were some protesting coal mining, others against anti-LGBTQ policies in schools.
They're just not listening to us. The UCP is not listening to us. We've been campaigning against the Grassy Mountain coal mine.
I just want to make sure that the Premier knows that I'm just about done with the divisive politics and to get her back to basics of running the province.
This is a separate town hall from the recently announced Alberta Next panel. Those will be a series of in-person and online town halls to develop provincial referendum ideas and policy options to increase provincial sovereignty within Canada. The Calgary Zoo has welcomed a new western lowland gorilla to its troop. Johari arrived last week from the Toronto Zoo. It's hoped the 24-year-old female will be a breeding partner for the Calgary Zoo's silverback. The zoo says this could help conservation efforts for western lowland gorillas, a species classified as critically endangered in the wild. Johari will need time to adjust to her new home, so it will be a while before she is visible to the public. But Johari, the new gorilla, is getting a rather hot welcome to Calgary.
Yes.
But there will be some relief for animals and people soon.
Yes, exactly. Heat warning still in place for many communities, Calgary included, but you will notice a big difference in Calgary by tomorrow as we drop down to the 20s, mid-20s. So still hot, not as hot. Okay, near Drayton Valley, closer to Drayton Valley, you can see that little red square there. That's where there is actually a tornado warning in place. Very serious weather happening in parts of central Alberta right now because rotation is possible and likely happening in these areas, in addition to large size hail and very strong wind gusts. So definitely that's where we have the most dangerous weather at this point. Further to the south down the QE2, it starts to improve as you get further south. But I will say this, there is the risk of thunderstorm activity even in southern Alberta for today. It just likely won't reach as severe levels as they're seeing in central Alberta. 30 degrees, wow, is the temperature right now in the city. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit fifthavenuevw.com. And looking at those next 24 hours, the risk of thunderstorms here, non-severe most likely, and then we have the risk of thunderstorms returning once again in the afternoon tomorrow, but a high of 24 expected for tomorrow. Is quite a difference. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. A group from Cochrane will join Team Canada overseas. The event, Lifesaving. Next, where we'll be taking on the best in the Commonwealth. And a difference in the spread of measles across Alberta. Also, if you have a news tip for us, text us at 10400. Five members from the Cochrane Water Ninjas will be looking to make a splash at the Commonwealth Lifesaving Championships. It's being held in Swansea, Wales from July 8th to the 13th. The competition features the best life-saving athletes from Commonwealth nations. Some of the events include mannequin tow, rescue medley, line throw, and relay races. Only 20 members were selected to represent Canada, making the five the Cochrane Club is sending all the more special.
We're very connected. Everyone gets along. We are always supporting each other, pushing each other to our best.
Being able to train together in this club is really incredible. We just, being able to race against each other and train every single day really pushes us to be the best version of ourselves.
And two other members of the Cochrane Club have been chosen as reserves for Team Canada. And those life-saving experts are in the right place to cool off, that's for sure. It's been pretty hot today.
What a cool job, too.
Yeah, good for them.
Especially when it hits 30. As you're saying. So the story in the south is, yes, we have the risk of thunderstorms and the heat. And for central Alberta, they're dealing with more active weather because really all the ingredients are in place there for even rotation and tornadic activity, which is what's happening in some communities. And we'll get to that in just a second. Checking out what's happening in and around the city. Downtown, we're at 28. At the airport, we're at 30. Bragg Creek is at 28. Irricana, 22, and Strathmore 30. And yeah, if you can handle the heat, what a great day for golfing. Get your daily dose of greens at Serenity Golf Club, just 20 minutes east of Calgary. Okay, bigger picture here on temperature. And well, this is the corner with the most heat right now. 35 in Medicine Hat, 33 in Milk River, 30 though still in Calgary, and 23 in Rocky Mountain House. So you can see temperatures are starting to cool. We'll definitely notice a difference by tomorrow in most communities, because the weather pattern is switching. So this ridge of high pressure will start to make its way out. It'll still be hot, but it'll be more reasonably hot than what we've been getting over the past couple of days. For the further south, though, especially the southeast corner, you'll likely hold on to a lot of the heat even through tomorrow before you notice as much of a difference. Okay, so first we'll start off with the heat warning, and that's in the red here. So foremost, Manyberries, Medicine Hat, Brooks, Champion, Vulcan, Calgary, yes, is still included in this, and then up through Lloydminster. So these areas are under the heat warning at this point. This heat warning will be dropped likely tonight. I'm going to actually pop that out so we can talk about where we're seeing, and we have the potential of seeing the more severe storms, and that's basically just to the north of Calgary. So Airdrie and up. Olds, right now we have a severe thunderstorm warning in place because these areas are getting some cells tracking through that are likely producing that larger size hail and stronger wind gusts. And then further to the north here, where we're seeing the worst weather of all of it, close to Drayton Valley, right there, the tornado warning that's in place because there are reports that we're starting to get the rotation there. And this entire red block here is on a tornado watch just to the east of Edmonton and around the Drayton Valley area. So there's a lot going on, and that's because we have the heat, and especially along that dry line there, we have all the ingredients in place where it's dry air meeting the more moist air, and we have more thunderstorm activity, a more serious thunderstorm activity here. Again, further to the south, we still have the potential, and in fact, we had a little brief one push through parts of Calgary, and you can see some tracking up to the north here. So this is the potential here, but less likely we're going to see that larger size hail in the south end or those stronger wind gusts. And we have the potential of even some isolated showers up till 11 o'clock tonight. Then tomorrow should be mainly calm, but by 2 in the afternoon, even in Calgary, the potential for thunderstorm activity once again. And by Friday night and through Saturday, much cooler and rainier. And you can see that on the longer range forecast here. 24 for tomorrow, so about 6 degrees cooler tomorrow. Late day thunderstorms possible, especially by 2 in the afternoon. We could see that. And then Friday, nice day. Showers carrying into Saturday, about 5 millimeters expected. And by Saturday, just a high of 19.
The number of confirmed measles cases in Alberta continues to grow, but the rate appears to be changing. There are 9 new measles cases in the province confirmed since Monday. It's not clear if the spread is slowing down or if fewer people are seeking medical attention. Health experts encourage everyone to ensure they are fully vaccinated against the highly contagious and preventable disease. It takes 2 doses of the MMR vaccine for protection to be the most effective. Every year, there's something new at the Stampede, and this year, it's stand-up comedy. Just ahead, one of the featured performers will tell us what she's expecting. Tesla isn't quite the status symbol it once was. Joining me is Liana Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popowich-Carmeli Advisory Group. And first of all, Liana, what happened in the markets today?
Well, it was an interesting trading day today because we got a couple of conflicting pieces of news that pushed the market in different directions. Initially, we got some jobs data that came out softer than expected. That initially started the trading day negative a little bit, but traders started to view that as another reason that the U.S. Fed could continue to move up the pacing of its cuts for the year. Then we got the news about a potential trade deal, or at least a framework that's been agreed to between Vietnam and the U.S. That's good news for a lot of the major companies and the highest performers and largest market cap companies on the S&P 500. Companies like Apple and Nvidia that manufacture a lot of their products in Vietnam. This looks like there's going to be about a 20% tariff applied to Vietnamese exports, 0% tariff to U.S. imports. So that was good news taken by the market today, and we actually saw the NASDAQ jump and the S&P 500 hit an intraday record on that information today.
Meantime, fewer people are buying Teslas.
They're on track basically for the second year of a sales slump. They actually saw deliveries decrease by 13.5% year over year. Now, there were a couple of bright spots in this analyst report. One of those being that they have sold more vehicles now in China that have been dropping for the last several months, and they've actually turned that around. The other thing was that the drop in sales was not as large as they expected, which was good news taken by some investors. We actually saw the shares trade up almost 5% today, which is good news for those investors because we saw a drop on the feud that got reignited yesterday.
Liana, thanks very much.
Thank you, Ian.
3 new hotels are coming to Calgary in a partnership between Truman and Marriott International. The new JW Marriott Hotel and the new W Hotel will be built side by side at McLeod Trail and 15th Avenue Southeast. At 62 stories and 69 stories, they will dominate the local skyline and offer hundreds of hotel rooms and residences. There will also be restaurants, spas, meeting spaces, and more. It's in addition to the hotel already announced at McLeod and 17th Avenue Southeast, which will be known as Autograph by Truman. Calgary's mayor says such public partnerships show how much Calgary is growing.
Right now, this is private investment. The city investment has been in bringing the Rivers District to life. And so when people have asked, why did you do a community revitalization levy? This is why. This is the kind of project we've been able to attract.
The hotels are planned to open in 2028, 29, and 30. Alberta officially has a provincial police force. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The Alberta Sheriff's Police Service will have its head office here in Calgary. Coming up at 6, why the Ponoka County Reeve calls the creation of this force frightening. Also ahead, Eau Claire Plaza is once again open to the public. Coming up, we'll see what Calgarians think of the redesign. Ian.
Thanks, Tara.
I also don't have kids, and I like to get that out just right away. And not because I don't like kids. I love kids. They make most of my clothes.
Erica Sigurdsson is one of the featured comedians for the first ever Stampede stand-up. You may be familiar with her from her appearances on CBC Radio's The Debaters. Stampede stand-up is at the BMO Centre on Friday, July 11th. And joining me is Erica Sigurdsson. Great to see you today.
Thank you. Good morning.
So what do you expect from a stand-up show at the Calgary Stampede?
I don't actually know what I expect. I've heard wild things about the Calgary Stampede. I have never personally attended. I've been to many rodeos. I have not been to the Calgary Stampede. I
here it could get kind of wild. So I'm not sure. I'm excited. It's I may feel like I'm riding a bull trying to hold on for 8 seconds, but I don't know.
Well, it sounds like it could be a lot of fun. You might have a very boisterous crowd. We'll have to see. Now, tell us a bit about yourself. You're originally from the West Coast. You've been with the same common law spouse for 20-plus years now. No kids. So you are the fun, boozy aunt, right?
Yes, I mean, I do actually love children. I just, this career does not lend itself to having kids. So I chose comedy, and that may be something I regret in my old age, but we'll see.
Do you remember the first time you did stand-up?
Oh, yes, of course. I was so nervous the entire day. I would just be walking and then suddenly fold over, grab my head and be like, what have I done? Why am I doing this? But I invited 50 friends and family to come and watch me for my very first set, which is really a lot of pressure. You do not want to bomb the first time you go up in front of, so the rest of your life, everyone can be like, remember when you tried that thing? That was terrible. But it went okay.
To see my extended interview with Erica Sigurdsson, visit ctvnews.ca/Calgary. Well, many people will find tomorrow much more comfortable. Right now in the city, there are some isolated showers, but it is 30 degrees, or 28 rather. We'll have details coming up with Danielle. Lots of heat today, Danielle, but not quite record heat.
Not quite record heat. Let me show you. We got to 30.9 today. The record is 33.3. I mean, that's close enough, right, for everybody? It's hot, basically. More reasonable heat tomorrow, 24. By 2 in the afternoon, we get into the risk of thunderstorms. Beautiful for Stampede Parade Day Friday, and then rain for Saturday. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. Members of the West Winds Music Society have a big summer ahead of them, performing in Germany and Austria. The group is made up of Calgarians from all walks of life. By day, Sean Emery is an electrician. Singing and clarinet are a hobby for him. He didn't want to give up music after graduating high school and discovered the society. 70 members leave for Germany on July 13th and will perform Canadian-specific pieces chosen by choir director Anne Gray.
We have rehearsed and we are ready to go. We are performance ready. And so, we present our music. We're very proud of being Canadian and our Canadian music and showing the Germans and the Austrian people, who we are and where we're from.
The group is performing a concert Saturday afternoon at Calgary Opera. The event is free. For more information, head to our website, ctvnews.ca/Calgary. Thanks very much for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.